Hey y'all, I'm doing it. Um, Welcome. My name is Taezha, and you are now listening or watching or tuning into the first episode of my podcast, Taezha's Table. Yeah, I have actually recorded this episode. This is probably like my third or fourth recording. I'm also sick, but this is how I work. I work in the night. It's 10:40 p.m. at my house, and I got this podcast mic for Christmas yesterday. And so I wanted to jump right into recording. I have been envisioning myself doing something creative like this. Is my camera tilting? I think it is shifting. Okay. Sorry. I've been envisioning myself doing this podcast for like probably years. I have been writing down ideas and concepts for months and also talking to people about it for months. And I also made a commitment to people that I would upload by the end of winter break because I am a college student and this is the most amount of free time I will get. And I am doing it. And so, thank you to my mom for buying this mic for me. And thank you for everybody who has motivated me, been there for me, been excited for me, or even interacted with me. I did post an Instagram like questionnaire thing where people could slide up and put up ideas or questions or topics for me. And so I probably will be using those for this first episode. But yeah, I'm trying to practice how to get comfortable in front of the camera. I can't promise you I'm going to be perfect at it. And I just want you to know that I hope that this episode is my worst episode. So seriously, I want this episode to be the shittiest episode I ever release because I hope that it only gets better from here as I get more comfortable with you and with being in front of a camera and a mic, because it's hard to be authentically yourself or not feel like I'm performing, and I don't want to do that. Um so first, I think I'm just going to give you a little bit of an introduction of like how I got to this podcast, why I named it this way, this boring ass name. But it has meaning, don't worry. And yeah, I'm tired as fuck. I'm sick, so and I breathe loud. I think I just do that. Like I think that's just a thing. I don't really breathe quietly, so just some things to know about me, but I'm just so excited to get into this. And yeah, I I'm getting really comfy though. I'm trying to That's why I re-recorded this in my pajamas. I'm in a t-shirt my mom got me. It says "Let It Snow" for the winter because I'm just a winter girl. But yeah, I took my bra off and everything, so I'm really comfortable. The only thing I did really for the visual was put on a little lip liner and gloss. So I'm really trying to be authentic here, okay? And so yeah, my name is Taezha, and this podcast is named Taezha's Table. Um, and I'll tell you a little backstory. I was trying to come up. I've been coming up with concepts of episodes. Oh, my lip gloss is making that weird noise. Ugh, sorry. I've been coming up with concepts of episodes for a long time. I have like a Google Doc with a bunch of episodes and different people I have on my podcast, and I was struggling to come up with a name, but it came to me when I was at school talking with some friends, and I said Tayshia's Table. But I actually was hesitant to put my name in the own title of my own fucking podcast because of white America. Yup, we're getting straight into it, girl. We're getting straight into it. Um, no, but seriously, my name is Taezha, and it's spelled Taezha. And I was hesitant, and there was a part of me that wanted to not put my name in it because it would have less visibility, right? I was, because my name's hard to spell for people, it would be a little bit harder to access. And I thought that that would put me at risk. But I was like, fuck that. So, me putting my own name in my podcast, even though it's not that creative, it's not a fun name, um, is like, it's not some like weird cocky shit, even though it can be. It's it's kind of a little like rejection to that. It's like it's my name and y'all are gonna learn how to spell it. And so that's just a backstory of like why I named this Taezha's Table. And my idea and vision is that I'll have different co-hosts and different people in my life that I love. Um, and for the visual aspect, because I do also want to upload a visual. Oop. Okay. I do also want to upload a visual element on YouTube. And my intention with this is to invite a different person on every week, and then I would decorate my table or my space based on who's with me, and then the theme would change based on who's with me. And my goal with this podcast is to create a community and honestly push myself to be authentic and put effort and energy and just try. Like, I think a lot of people think it's corny or lame to try and you get made fun of for it. And I'm just like, I'm tired of fear holding me back. Like, if this fails, I don't really fucking care at the end of the day. And I feel like I've done enough self-work and growth to where I don't care about the validation or opinions of others so much to where like I'll stop myself, and now I can handle it. Like, I'm putting myself out there and I'm being vulnerable, and it's definitely scary. Like, oh, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I can do this now. So yeah. And I was questioning whether to introduce you like myself and just list a bunch of things about myself and be like, "Oh, I like to go to the beach and I am 20 years old." But I don't really like introductions like that. I'm an open book and you will get to know me throughout this podcast. So you'll hear a lot about me just even in this first episode, because things will pop up naturally. And so yeah, I'm just Taezha. And so hello. And thank you for tuning in. And I'm excited to start this. So, um one thing I wanted to talk about too has been a big source of like motivation and inspiration for me has been just interacting and consuming other creators' works, whether that's like art or other podcasts or YouTubers, like just watching them and seeing how they have cultivated an audience through just being authentic has been so fucking inspiring. So, I'm just going to list some things that are like my current like obsessions. Number 1, the Slushy Noobs YouTube channel and Out of Character podcast. I love what Hamza and Martin are doing, and yeah, they've inspired me a lot. I fucking love their humor. First of all, they're so funny, and they are probably one of the most, if not the most authentic creators that I see, in a way where they're truly shameless, and I fucking love it. And so I hope to be that entertaining while I'm authentic. I don't know if I can be as much of like an entertainer as them, but like I love watching their content. I even watch Mandy's videos. I love when Claire and Chase come on their podcast and YouTube videos. So it's super fun just keeping up with them. And then as far as artists, I'm obsessed with Doechii right now. She is just a true artist, from her fashion to her visuals to her art and her like actual rap like talent and ability, like ugh, and just her being like, she's just a black woman and she's out there, and I'm living for it. So love Doechii. And then Tyler the Creator. I really liked his recent album. I feel like he was so vulnerable. I feel like you could tell that he put intention and heart into his work, and like that's what I really loved about it. It's like it was just real. And so I hope that as I get more comfortable and get used to being in front of this fucking microphone and camera, that I too can create something as authentic and real that like speaks to people. Whether it resonates with you or not, like I just want to build a community on here in some way. And so that's my goal. And that's why I hope that this is my worst episode, because I hope that I get better at it. And I think I will with practice, and I'll figure out whatever they say, your niche or whatever the fuck. And so yeah, I'm excited about that. Something that I think is important to know about me as I go along this podcast, and this may interest you or this may disinterest you, but is just who I am. I'm a little young scholar. um, I don't know why I said that. Why did I say little young scholar? Um, Oh, my sickness. Oh, yeah. I am a current undergraduate student, and my academics are actually such a big part of who I am and like what I do every day. But it's funny because I kind of, until this point, honestly, I have kept my academics and my social media presence completely separate for the most part. And I don't know why. Because like school is such a big part of who I am, but I just don't really share it. And sometimes maybe it's because it feels like um I'm either bragging or, I don't know, flexing, whatever the fuck. But I also feel like I do have things that I want to share with the world that I learn in school. Not like, oh, I'm educating you guys, but more like just conversations to be had. Like I want to have this conversation outside of the classroom, honestly. And so I am a dork and I will bring in a lot of different things, probably things inspired by black feminist scholars or theorists. Like I don't know. I can't detach that anymore. Like it's just a part of me. And so yeah, I study gender, sexuality, and race studies. It's a program at my school, and it kind of, if you're wondering, it combines women's and gender studies with sexuality studies with critical race studies. And so it's just kind of looking at like identity intersectionally, power, all that shit. So I actually love it. And um, yeah, I've been learning that I'm a scholar. So a recent experience I went on that I'll share with you that was like that, it was so healing for me, and it was so spiritual in a way that like I was not fucking expecting. So really quick, like, well, not really quick, I'm trying to skip over it. See, I always try to skip over my school shit because I feel like people don't care, but it's like this is my podcast, so I'm getting used to it, guys. But I recently, through my school was funded, and through my mentor, I'm a part of a black research group on my campus, and we do like autoethnographic work. So we've researched ourselves, and we started a project on like mothering and the expectation for black women to be caretakers, um, and like mother those around them and nurture them in higher education, in leadership positions, but also just in general. And so we went and we applied to share our research at a conference, and that is the first time, number one, I've honestly ever been exposed to graduate students' work or like their dissertations their dissertations. Um, but also it's like one of the that's it was just so much about exposure for me, and like it's hard for me to imagine things happening sometimes. And going there and seeing other black scholars, specifically black women, and their research and their life's work was so like it was so inspiring. And like I never considered myself until that moment a scholar. And I mean, like, I've been a student who has like, I did the star student stuff, whatever, fucking valedictorian, class speaker, fucking full tuition scholarship. I'm not trying to flex on y'all, but hey, I do have to give myself credit. I do things. I do things. But until that moment, I did not truly feel like I belonged fully. Like seriously, because I didn't see anybody who didn't have to like conform to like the specific type of academia and this like show offy fucking prestigious I'm better than you white fucking bullshit. Like, and so going there and seeing people just do their work and acknowledging like the academy isn't for us, but like we can still do our work, that shit was, oh, that was so inspiring and motivating. And I'm so grateful to have gone. I feel like I got so much poured into me from like people who like they were like so motivating to my friend and I, because we were one of the few like undergraduate students there. And so even just learning from others, but then also just being poured into after sharing our work in progress, it was just so like transformative. I don't know. I'm trying to find like a big nice word. Like that shit was amazing. And then we also, my mentor got us tickets to fucking see Adrienne Marie Brown. If you don't know who that is, like just look, just open your eyes. But we saw her, and that was fucking life changing. There was so much that was spiritual in that experience that I wasn't expecting. Like I even went to a session at the research conference where it was Black Caribbean woman talking about making home and what that means in the academy, and it was like this panel, and I literally cried multiple times. And they were talking about spirituality and discernment and mentorship between Black women and things that like you never hear talked about in academia, and you don't think that it fits within academia until you see it. And honestly, just seeing and vision and stuff like that is yeah. So I'm just getting so passionate right now, but like at the I'm an academic girl, and I'm tired of hiding it or trying to like, maybe it's boring to some people, but to me, like, it's healing. So I think of like, bell hooks, theories of liberatory practice, whatever. Okay, I'll stop nerding out for now because this is just the first episode, but I just get so excited. And so that was something that recently happened that I just feel like was meant to happen. Like that just made me feel like I'm in the right place. And so I felt that spirit of discernment that those women were talking about. Yeah, it was a beautiful experience. Like, y'all, I cried. Adrienne Maree Brown was so good. She's so, first of all, she's fucking entertaining as fuck. Like, funny as hell. Amazing. But people just, when people speak like life, like they speak, their words just have so much meaning. Like, I want to be like that one day. I'm not saying I'm going to be no fucking like preacher. Like, I don't know if I have that ability, but like when somebody's words speak to you, that's something so valuable. And so as somebody who fucking talks all the time, can't shut the fuck up, I'm trying to find a way to use this thing that I have, which is called talking too fucking much, and make it something meaningful. And so yeah, that's why I'm making this podcast, and I'm nervous and I'm excited in all of it. And like I said, this is my fourth time recording, so I'm probably a hot mess, but I'm just trying to record the most authentic, like excited version of myself I can. So I'm getting more comfortable as I practice this. And I'm just so excited to be here with you and that you're tuning in. And so I guess from this, we can go into some of the things that people wanted to hear from me, because I did put a questions poll up and y'all did not disappoint, actually. I got actually quite a bit of responses. So, one of the things that I was asked is giving people advice on just being comfortable in their own skin and my journey. Okay. Let's see. I think that a lot of it has to do with acceptance of what is. Like, you have to accept the current to move forward. I think that we have our phones and you scroll on fucking TikTok, especially if you have a fucking algorithm, anything like mine. Also, I cuss a lot, by the way, guys. I'm going to cuss a lot. So just so you know. But if you have an algorithm that's anything like mine, it is just full of advice. What you can do to better yourself, how to better yourself, how to eat this way, what you should do for your hair, you shouldn't do this anymore, how to be a better lover, what to do, how to love yourself. It's overwhelming. And it makes you feel like you're so behind in life, right? And I think what we have to do is sometimes put that phone fucking down and take a deep breath and just get to know yourself. You don't need all the advice on your phone, because your intuition, and I truly feel like us and ourselves, we will find what we're supposed to. Like, if I followed every piece of advice on the internet, I literally couldn't. Like, girl, what the fuck is a carnivore meat diet? I don't fucking know. Girl, what the hell? So what I'm trying to say is, like, another thing too is, like, a lot of this like advice and self-mastery advice is focusing so much about like a future version of yourself, but I think that we also have to like nurture and like accept the person we are right now in this moment, and the person we were in the past. Even like, I think that's even more important. There's so much advice that like makes you feel like you were so stupid and dumb in the past, and now you're so enlightened, and everybody like likes to move on, and then they're like, that shit was lame in the past. Like, oh, we don't fucking, we're not insecure girls. Fuck the insecure. Bitch, you were insecure 2 fucking days ago. Sorry, that sounds, and if I sound aggressive, I don't care. What I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not one thing that has been a big part of my growth is not only thinking about how to be better in the future, like, yes, hold yourself accountable, of course. But a lot of people who care about this work have already done that. And then we're going back in this cycle of hate, like, oh my God, I can't believe I let myself do that. And I was just so fucking stupid. It's like, no, now you're just feeding yourself more fucking hate. Why are you hating your 14-year-old self? Seriously. So, a big thing for me has been learning not only to try to be better in the future, but also just accepting. Like, personally, for me, I'm somebody, I build resentment. Like, I accept the toxic versions of myself so that I can move on with it. Like, to move on past anything, you have to accept that it exists first. So, for me, I'll give you an example. I'll be vulnerable, right? Hello, first episode. I'm somebody, I build resentment against people. I say, oh, it's fine. I people please. Oh, it's fine. And I think I'm a victim and I'm so nice, but I'm really resenting them. That's not fucking real. Like, that's not the best person I can be, but I accept that about myself. And now that I'm aware of it and I accept it, I can let it go. But what we're trying to do is skip steps. Everybody's trying to skip steps to be the most perfect bitch. You're never going to be perfect. It's never going to happen. And so what you have to realize is that once you learn to accept the things about yourself, then you can continue to do work. That's what I say. And so that's been something I've been learning a lot. Self-mastery. I feel like I take it very seriously, but the thing is, I say this with so much passion because, like, we just need to learn to accept, you know? We put way too much pressure on ourselves. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen this quote, but I'm going to just say it in case you haven't. I saw this post that said something like, they said, if you're trying to love yourself right now, you already do. And I was like, shit. Because we don't even give ourselves enough credit for what we're doing in the moment, you know? So also, when you do grow, don't hate the old version of yourself. You do the best you can in the moment you're in. So no, I'm not going to hate myself at 15 for being a bitch. I was 15. There's different conditions you're in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's my biggest piece of advice right now, is just accepting yourself. And then you can find yourself. Like, right now, I'm a big gaming nerd. I don't own a gaming console. And I'm learning myself. Like, you get to know yourself. I think when you spend time alone with yourself, like, this is the longest I've been single since the age of like fucking 14, since I started dating. And I'm just getting to know myself, and it's so exciting. And of course, it gets boring, lonely, whatever, you know, all the things. But spending time with yourself and really just letting yourself be, like, that's how you accept yourself. That's how you be authentic. That's how, what was the question? That's how you, be comfortable in your own skin. And you gotta decenter what people think. It's hard. If you're anything like me and you're a people pleaser, it's exhausting. It's not sustainable, and it's impossible. You cannot please everybody. Somebody's going to dislike you. And when you accept that, like, a lot of this is about acceptance. Like, a lot of things I didn't want to accept. I used to be such a, like, anxious, like, I'm like doing this movement you can't see if you're listening audio wise, but like, you gotta let that shit go. Because I spent so much of my life, and I know I'm like young, so people are like, you're dramatic, but listen, I spent so much of my life like just being anxious about what people thought, and I just didn't let myself live. Sometimes you are the one holding yourself back the most, seriously. And so I just accepted that I was weird. And I think a big part of this that I always forget to mention when I give advice, because who the fuck am I? Like, Ayana fix my life, I guess. But something that I forgot to say in a past recording was that you have to surround yourself by people who also want you to be authentically you. That was my chair creaking. When you're around people who judge everything, damn, I'm sick. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. When you're around people who judge everything or who make you feel like you can't be yourself, that's not gonna help you, boo. If you want to be comfortable in your own skin, it's nice to be around other people who are comfortable in their skin. One thing I can tell you is all of my friends inspire me in some way. I take my friendships very seriously. Like, I have a pretty, like, as far as people who are close to me, very small circle. Like, I'd only really want to FaceTime like 3 people right now. And that's for a very specific reason. I'm part of it is I'm a bitch. I'm just kidding. Well, but also, but also, um, you have to be with people who want to see you be your authentic self just as much as you do. So try to build yourself a community or an environment based on your authentic self. That's why that people pleasing shit doesn't work. Because you're kind of in a way building false relationships. And that's what I've done in the past. So if you're just trying to appease people, they're like, oh, I fucking love this girl. She loves all the same things as I do. No, you don't. Girl, you don't even like ramen. I'm sorry, that's so random. That was a bad one. I'm getting myself sick. So, yeah, that is my advice on being comfortable in your own skin. Accept yourself, accept what is, love all versions of yourself, and surround yourself with people who want you, who love the authentic version of you too, and who want you to be the authentic version of you. And I think that's what helps you be in a space for growth. And it takes a while to get there. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like, you are where you're supposed to be, you know? We don't always need to do the best thing or do, like, sometimes just let yourself be, girl. You don't have to be a superwoman. You could just be basic woman. I don't care. It's okay. Sometimes I'm like, I don't really give. Like, this podcast, like, I want it to be so amazing, so great. Girls, this is my first episode. I probably am breathing loud as fuck. I'm sick. I coughed in your ear. Like, it's not that good. It's okay. So, anywho. Okay. A lot of people ask me for love advice, which is crazy. Okay. I'll give you guys a little bit because it's related. Love advice. Something that my mentor recently said to me, but that I also feel like I heard somewhere else, I just can't remember, is that nobody is going to come and save you. Clock it. That that is true. That really was applicable to me at the time I heard it as well. We were talking about relationships and stuff. And also as I reflect on my past relationships, I'm always reflecting, sometimes too much, but I think we all have this like vision or fantasy, or we're fed it when we're young, that somebody is going to come in our life and save us from all that is bad. We're sad, you get a partner and they complete you and your life is perfect. But baby, that's not true. It's also unfair. It's an like, you're just setting yourself up for failure kind of in that way. And also, I don't want someone to come and save me. Like, I've been thinking about that. I really used to. And I used to put that pressure on my partners so bad. It was bad. Like, that was a bad habit of mine. I used to be like, oh, I don't feel good. It must be their fucking fault. Like, girl, the fuck? And they're just sitting there like, what? So, sorry to my past partners. But also, yeah, sometimes, like, you want somebody to complete you. And that's number one, that's not healthy. Like, you're putting pressure on your partner or your, like, boo, whatever. So, I think that we need to change how we, like, view relationships, or, like, what our goal is. Because nobody is going to complete me. I have to do work on myself, and then I'll find somebody who's just matching me at the time, and it's meant to be. Like, I really do believe in, like, things happening for a reason and divine timing, blah, blah, blah. Like, I am spiritual in that way. I'm pretty optimistic too. Like, I have a large belief that, like, things happen the way they happen for a reason. And if something is supposed to be for me, then I will have it, kind of thing. And so, yeah, um it's hard to let go of because I really wish that somebody could save me. I do. Like, please come save me. But no, they're not going to. And I don't really want them to. I need to learn how to be on my own, you know? I need to be able, like, you know, we can't be codependent on other people. Even though it's appealing sometimes, it really is. Like, it would be so nice if somebody just came in and fixed my life. But that's just not how it works. And that's unfair to expect that out of people. So, yeah, that's my love advice right now. That's what I have to say. And that really read to me this year after, reflecting on how I am because, I'm not perfect. Let's see. What's your coochie size? Okay. That's hard to segue into. Perfect. I'm just kidding. That's gross. Maybe I shouldn't have read into that. No, don't ask me that. Oh, my chair seat. Too much is going on right now. Okay. Somebody said election results. Okay. This is a lot to handle. Fuck Trump. Next. Yeah. College life as a black woman, navigating relationships/friendships while in school. Yeah, honestly, adjustment to college is real. Being a black woman is real. um, what could I say? Yeah, I think it kind of speaks to what I was saying earlier, like surrounding yourself with the right people. I feel like that advice is very simple and basic. It's hard to get there. Like, I was literally sometimes, I think when I was in my first year of college, I was really struggling. Like, dang, like, do I belong here? Like, should I be here? Like, I need to go. Um, I think you get through. You just have to have a belief in yourself that you'll get through. As far as friendships, you gotta go quality over quantity. I've always been that way, but I also think that something that I didn't do in the past that I'm glad I do now is decentering relationships, especially if you're a straight woman and you like or you only date men. It's easy to get caught up in that shit. But also this goes for no, this goes for everybody because I know how as a baby gay, even I know how things go down. Okay, everybody listen. We center romantic relationships so much, but those be like the most worst ones we go through. Think about it. This is me being even a little bit logical, and I'm really not. Why do we center these relationships that are mostly ass and we sleep on our friendships? Come on, we have to do better. That's my advice. We have to do better because, like, for me, like, honestly, like a big part of my like story journey whatever right now is that I'm single, and like I said, this is the longest I've been single since I was 14 because I've been in some long relationships, right? And what it's taught me is like how much value there is to friendships and how much I wish I cherished them more while in relationships, right? And I think it's something that we need to learn, especially like at my age, like if you're anywhere near like 20 or college age, like, or even younger, like now's the time to build your friendships. It gets harder as you become an adult, or at least that's what they say. So, um, just trying to find people. And I think that the way you do that is by being your authentic self, and you'll attract each other, you'll bump across each other, whatever. If you believe in fate and all that shit like I do. Um, and so yeah, I think trying to center friendships and make that a priority. Like my friends right now in my life are my priority. As well as family. You can always fall back on family. So, I mean, well, not always actually. Everybody has different family situations. But if you have family that you can fall back on, also value those relationships. Wisdom from mentors, elders, family. Like, there's just so many relationships that I think we take for granted in our life because we focus on romantic relationships, even if that's not the time to. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a time where I'm booed the fuck up. Maybe me and my boo will be on this podcast one day. But yeah. So that's my big, like, and then specifically as a Black woman, another thing my mentor always says is to cancel out the white noise. There's so much whiteness everywhere. It's exhausting. But honestly, centering joy, I think, is necessary, and rest. Like, that's the way that I try to cancel that noise out. Like, there's so much shit that stresses us out already. If we can prioritize our joy in day to day, I think it just makes living so much more worthy. It makes day to day easier, especially as a college student, especially at a predominantly white school or dominantly white school, you know, in the US. So yeah, prioritize your joy. Learn yourself, find what brings you joy. Like for me, I literally, like, I have been cutting out time to watch YouTube for myself to get through day to day. I get myself a little drink sometimes when I'm sad or whatever, you know, just small things. I talk to people all day. Too much. I bother people. I'm sorry. You guys know who you are. I bother you. So now maybe I'll talk more to the microphone and camera, then I'll give you guys a break. But I talk to the people who bring me joy, and that keeps me going. That keeps me charged to get through all the bullshit. So prioritize your joy. That's my advice I have right now. I think I'll definitely have more on that if I have more time to think. Ooh, let's see what's next. Somebody asked me to talk about tattoos, piercings, fashion, and connecting it to individuality, because I feel like that's on theme for this episode. I didn't expect to get so deep into like individuality, and I hope this isn't boring to you. I hope that this brings you some sort of value, but I'll talk about it. I'm pretty pierced up, I could say now. Tattoos, I would not say that I'm tatted up. I wish. That would be... Well, if you're just an audio listener, it'll just make me more attractive. I'll just say I'm tatted up, but I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess I'll tell you a little story for my Elise piercings and my biggest tattoo, which I have two. So I was in Trinidad for a lot of this, and I think Trinidad was a life-changing experience for me. I was really tapping into myself and expression, also gratitude. And so yeah, I think I learned to accept a lot, just let go. Studying away in general can be nerve-wracking. It's a lot about adjustment. There's a lot of uncomfortability, especially just reflecting on privilege. Like, shit, like, do you realize how privileged I am to be a US citizen in itself? Like, boom. Let alone other things, you know. I'm so privileged. Light skin, fucking loose hair, whatever, you know? So, reflecting on that, I don't know. I just feel like that's not even answering the question. I got so sidetracked, but I'm just saying, like, Trinidad for me was a lot about acceptance. And so I feel like I've been saying throughout this whole episode, is like, once I accepted myself, I started to really get to know myself. So at the time, I already had 2 nose piercings, so I have 1 on each side. I actually impulsively got my eyebrow pierced. I had a braiding appointment. It got canceled, and it was like kind of messy. And then I was like, fuck, I want to do something to my appearance. Like, I don't fucking care. So then I went to go get my eyebrow pierced, and then a helix, which is like the top part of my ear. I'm showing the people who see me visually. Ooh, my chair, Jesus. I'm showing the people who see me visually right now. I have a little chain. I just got this for Christmas that connects my 3rd earring piercing to my helix. It's kind of cool. And I'm always a gold girl. I also have a little like onk piercing, and then yeah. And then I have a little dragonfly on one side of my nose and a hoop on the other. And then just more, I have 3 ear piercings on each side, and I have a belly button piercing. And then for my tattoos, I got a little heart in Miami. Yeah, that was fun. It blew out. It's so bad. But I got it. That was my first tattoo. I was like 18. I spent $80 on it. It was stupid. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, that's my first tattoo. And then my only other one for now is I have a panther tattoo on my inner forearm, with some flowers. I got that in Trinidad. I was at their international tattoo festival, and the artist who tatted me, she was actually from Miami, but her art was just so beautiful. Like, she just had a really cool style. So I saw this on the flash sheet, and it was just really um catching my eye. And I feel like when I got this tattoo in Trinidad, it was more about the timing than anything. Also, it matches my dad. He also has a panther on his arm. So I just got it. And so I feel like what I'm trying to say is I feel like connecting to yourself and like your expression, it's just the timing of it. Like sometimes I think we try to like methodically plan like, oh my god, I'm going to give Office Siren from the years like for 2025. Like I'm going to be giving this energy, like divine femininity, dark femininity. I'm like, just be yourself. Another thing, oh, that's another thing about fashion and individuality. I saw on TikTok, I need to start like citing people. I'll get better at that. But I saw on TikTok this video about like how people seek fashion, but they're not living the lifestyle, and that's the problem. Like the life, like with the lifestyle comes the fashion. So like for example, like skaters. Like if you skate, eventually you're gonna look like a fucking skater because you have the right shoes and the right baggy jeans, whatever. Or like classy or rich, whatever. Like we're not living the lifestyles of the fashion that we want. So if we maybe more focus on like the life we're living, our fashion will be a reflection of that. And so I thought that was really interesting because right now I'm just playing around, because also it's like now that I kind of care less to like please people and I'm less self-conscious and I don't care as much about what people think, and I'm finally starting to just get a sense of self. I'm just playing around. Like I put on different jackets. I really like earmuffs right now. And the thing is, they're like things that I already owned, but I just never really used in that way. So just being weird and funky with it. And that's another thing. Also, when you decenter romantic relationships, like before I was like, oh my God, I need to look cute. Like, girl, what? Just be you and then you'll find the right person. Like, so yeah, I wish I had a description for my fashion. Um, Most of the time I'm usually hyper feminine. I've been really into like I literally own mostly flare pants. It's kind of bad. Like I need other pants. Like I only have flare pants. But I've been really into maxi skirts, and then also like or like a mini skirt with tights. So I've been into like tights and different like nylons. I have these like one pair of Oxford shoes that I got a while ago that I stopped wearing but now I wear again. They make me feel tall and powerful, but I'm not actually. That's a whole yeah, anywho. I wish I was tall. But um yeah, and then yeah, I have a lot of like collared things, kind of like business, but kind of sexy, but kind of like schoolgirl. Like I don't really know how to explain my fashion, but I'm just kind of playing around. Like I just like pick one item in my closet and I base my entire outfit on it, and it's usually just fun and weird. And my chair creaked again, but I need to readjust. So hold on. Oops. But yeah, I don't know. See, I just love yapping and talking and just talking about stupid shit. Oh, another fashion thing that I do to get to know me. I wear fake glasses. I have no prescription. My vision is 2020. But do I have a whole collection of glasses now? Yes. And it's funny because like I've like placeboed myself out. I don't know why I did this. But like now I feel like when I put on blue light glasses, it's like shutting me down for the day. Like it's helping me focus. It's getting rid of my headache. Like, and sometimes it works. Like I'll be watching like a video and I'll be like, oh, my headache. And then I'll put on my blue light glasses. And I'm like, oh, like the remedy. Like, bitch, life is so unserious. Like I'm also kind of in an era of like taking life like not too serious. Well, of course, like seriously, like not dangerously. Like I'm not being like irrational or like self-harming, but like girl, let's just have fun, you know? So, yeah. That's one thing I do. I'll show the uh visual watchers right now. I have a pair. This is like a I think tortoise is what the print is called, or turtle, from my auntie. Stole them. Thank you, auntie. I got this pair in Norway. Oh my gosh, I also studied away in Norway. Oh, I didn't talk about that at all, but yeah, I have a lot of things to talk about. So a lot of people did want me to talk about travel. All of my travel is basically through study abroad, paid for by school, but I will definitely share with you guys. I wish I could help more with like planning, so if I do that, I can help you out. Um, but yeah, I'm really taking advantage of our study away program at my school. So yeah, anywho, I got accepted into a program to study away in Norway for 7 weeks, which was cool as hell this summer. And I got these glasses. They're from a store called Normal, which was cool. They don't really look cute on me, but these are like silver lined circle glasses. And then another pair I just have on my counter, some green glasses, square. I got those off of Amazon. I wear those ones a lot. But yeah, so that's some stuff about fashion and me. I'm sure I can also have more to talk about that later on. And then, how to handle having crushes on women. Whew. Oh, you're asking me. I wish that I could speak to this because I'm a pussy and I'm also a baby gay. So I really wish I could tell you how to handle it, but I honestly can't handle it myself. My sexuality is something I'm figuring it out. I used to go by pan. Now I say queer. I don't know. I could be a lesbian. It's up in the air, guys. I'm figuring it out. Okay. So yeah. I would love to give you advice. But honestly, the best advice that I've seen so far is like it's the same thing as having a crush on men. Like, why are you treating it differently? And I was like, huh, you're right. We just put too much pressure on ourselves. So that's not, I can't say that I lived that to, or like I follow that yet because I definitely put too much pressure on myself when it comes to dating non men. But yeah, I also don't really have that much dating experience. So even though you guys ask me a lot, which I appreciate, and I will speak to, especially as I bring different guests on this channel. I do have some episodes planned. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know as we go on this journey together. Um, let's see. Yeah, somebody said experiences that have altered your brain, studying abroad, hobbies, self-care, etc. Hmm. I don't know. We're getting to time, but self-care, that's a good question. Um, yeah, I try to notice my routines. Like there's indicators or like habits of mine that like show me I'm not doing well and I need to slow down. So like I don't know, let's say I don't know, like girl, wash your water bottle. Like I don't know. I'm sorry. That's not a good answer at all. You know what self-care? Okay, well, for instance, I'm sick right now. You have to give yourself time to rest. And there is something about rest being resistance. I think it's Trisha. Hold on. I need to look it up. Like it's actually going to bother me. Rest is resistance. Trisha Hershey? Trisha Hersey? Oh my god, I'm sorry. I need to figure out that name. But rest is resistance. And what she talks about rest being a divine right, it doesn't need to be earned. And so I think if we honestly value and view rest as like a right of ours, that can help you keep going. Because I think there's things that we can do to prevent burnout rather than like just letting it happen. Like just work, you know, you can tell that you're going to be burnt out and being like, oh, it's fine, let's not do that. And that's, I can also go back to what I was talking to in the beginning with the Slushy Noobs podcast. Another reason why I love them, they're just so genuine and authentic. They're also, it's funny because I'm starting my podcast and they just ended, like they're taking a break, which I was like, oh, I'm so sad, but I'm so happy for them. They were like, Hamza was talking about, somebody like released a clip. I don't know if it was from his Patreon or something, but he was talking about how like they're fine, like everybody stopped worrying. And he was saying like, this process for them hasn't been exhausting at all. It's actually been the opposite, but they're taking this break. It's been planned to prevent that. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. Like preventing burnout, preventing it. And you see, building rest and breaks into your life and schedule. I think that can be really important to self-care. And just being kind to yourself, you know? Try to stop yourself when you're being mean. That's another thing. Yeah. Somebody said school and traveling advice, literally how you do it all. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, a lot of people are asking me for advice, so I'm not trying to just come here and be like, oh, I'm a preacher. But you guys ask, so I'm just like, just trying to spread the wisdom. But yeah, yeah, something I'll say that I think relates to school and traveling and that I've been building towards is to just go for it. Like, that's what I'm trying to do with this podcast. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be certain that you're gonna get it. Just go for it. Take a risk. I literally, you know what I did? Actually, I'll share this about myself. It's low-key embarrassing. I applied for Love Island. Why did I do that? I don't know. I don't even know if I like men, and I'm applying for Love Island. See, the thing is, the thing is just do things. Like, life is fun. Like, we're here to live. So do that. So yeah, that's my advice. Like, um apply for things, try things. Like, when it comes to study away, I did not think that I was going to be able to. I did not. And I'm here today saying in 2024, my school paid for me to go to Trinidad and Tobago and Norway. Bitch, who am I? Who the fuck am I? So just apply for things. Like entertain the thought of things and try to build your imagination in a way that you can go towards those things. Like, we're taught not to imagine. We're taught to just accept reality, be logical. It's like, bitch, I'm not a robot. None of us are like completely logical. Like, it doesn't, like, I know some people value that, so whatever. But like, girl, I'm imaginative. Girl, I'm a Cancer. I'm a dreamer. So that's another thing about myself I'll talk about, I guess, while I'm closing. I'm into astrology. I am. I think that when you look deeply into it, it can speak to you. It can resonate, and I take what resonates. I'll share this with you guys. I'm a Cancer sun. My moon is in Taurus, and my rising's in Virgo. I'll leave it at that because I'm kind of scared to share too much. I do have some fire in my chart though, if you're wondering. But yeah, I'm a grounded bitch. I'm a classy girl. Like, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, those are my signs. I would love to have an episode talking about horoscope and astrology, and I will. I do have friends who are also interested in it, and then maybe I'll share my chart with you guys and go through it and where it applies in my life. But I'm an emotional girl. I am a Cancer. You know, people have thoughts about that, but listen, I feel like my other signs balance it out, so don't hate too much on my water sign. But yeah, love astrology. And I don't think that it negates any other kind of spirituality. I disagree with that. I feel like you can be into astrology and be a fucking Christian. So, unpopular opinion, I guess. But yeah, because, you know, B. Simone just came out with that video. And she's like, I'm not doing this no more. I was like, oh, you're so pretty, but I disagree with you. But yeah. So yeah, that's just something. Yeah, what else have I seen in the media having to do with horoscope? I don't really keep up with like retrogrades and stuff like that. I should probably. That might be my next step into astrology. But for now, I mostly just read birth charts and signs and how they apply in my life and other people's lives. And I think it's fun. And I think it applies. So yeah. And then let's answer this question. He knows we're home at daughter or where my hug at son. Abortion. I'm just kidding. Ooh, I'm coming on strong. But you know what, guys? I have to be honest to myself. I have to be authentic and true. So I'm trying to be. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. He know where home at. No. Where my hug at. No. That just doesn't sound like my children. My children wouldn't do that. No. No, thank you. Yeah. I don't have children yet. I don't know if I'm going to. That's another thing. I've been thinking about that lately. Like, is it ethical to bring somebody on this earth and they didn't even ask. Excuse me, I'm sick. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm also interested. I might have a talk about that. I might have that talk with maybe my parents. I don't know. But yeah, I'm so excited. This last part of my podcast has been so fucking random. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm so excited that I'm here. I'm recording this. I'm excited that you're here listening. If you have listened all the way through, thank you deeply from the bottom of my heart. I'm learning this. Like I said, I hope that this is the worst episode that I ever upload because I only want to go up from here. I'm going to practice getting more comfortable and just being authentic on camera and on the mic. And I hope that it speaks to you in some way. And so if it does, let me know. If it doesn't, go ahead, girl. You can hate comment. But yeah, thank you for being here. I have some really fun episodes planned. So, try out the next ones when I bring on co-hosts because those are probably going to be very different because I'll be having somebody to bounce back off of. And I'm so excited. So you'll learn more about me and I'll share more about myself and get used to this whole recording thing. But I'm so excited. I'm so happy I'm doing this. And I'm happy that you're here with me. And so I'm going to take my time to rest and recover. And I should be out with my next episode pretty soon. But for now, this will be my first episode of Taezha's Table. Thank you for coming. Okay. Bye, y'all. Peace and love.